Hello loves, this is Keleena. Today is July 26, 2018. Here we go, lunar eclipse coming and getting ready for this year's Lionsgate. I have my notes as usual from my meditations that I'm going to go through, just the key point reminders for me of what not to forget. I want to make sure I cover everything. And I also pulled a couple cards today because I was guided that I would have activations cards for everyone. So I'm going to do that as well. Light language will be coming through. I already know this has to do with the thymus, the connection to the ears, the third eye, and the throat chakra. I've been working on the connections, opening the thymus, but also the connections of these key points in our chakra system with my clients for the last 2 weeks. It's been really, really huge. Also the throat chakra connection to the thymus. That there's like an activation key point that's been happening with my clients as I work with them, and it's really very important. So that's going to come through as well. Our thymus is what I refer to as our sacred heart. Some people call it the high heart. We have the heart chakra and then we have the high heart. So I refer to it as the sacred heart, and that's why I call my work Sacred Heart Ascension, because it all comes from the opening of our inner heart, our high heart, our sacred heart, our connection to who we are. So light language will be coming through. I have the activation cards, and I also have the information that I've had downloaded and the stuff from meditations this past probably 2 weeks to cover up this cover the lunar eclipse and Lionsgate together. So the first thing I just want to remind everybody is that once again, with Lionsgate coming, the lunar eclipse always precedes Lionsgate. It always happens. This year it just happens to be, if you watched my July energy video, ascension video, and I just want to say that all my videos are for all paths. There are people sending me questions going, why aren't you doing twin flame videos anymore? My work is for all paths. Everything that comes through is for all of you, so make sure that you watch them. Just don't look for a title. Don't get lost in titles. Look for the ascension, because that's what we're all going through, okay? So I want to remind you that as we have each year during this process, we have the lunar eclipse cycles first. We have this huge lunar eclipse that's coming up this Friday. That's the longest one, they're saying, in a century. I said in my July energy video that this month was going to be very intense for clearing for people, for purification. And it's really very important, this part of the process and this step, okay, to move forward, but also to be ready for Lionsgate. And I'm going to explain why. I received this today when I was actually had my hands on I do energy paintings. I'm an intuitive artist as well, so the energies come through and they go into the painting. So I was my hands on one of my paintings today, the one that some people think looks like Archangel Michael or Christ. That's the one that I have my hands on, and brought me through the connection that I didn't have before, that I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So, and I admit that there's some things that they come later, so that's okay. So, with everything that happens as this process goes, everything happens in flow. Everything's divinely timed, everything in perfect order, everything out in the universe, everything that's happening in your life, everything that happens to you physically, everything that happens to you mentally and emotionally. It's all a step-by-step process, okay? So don't try to jump from one place to the other, because it doesn't work that way, okay? You'll get lost in the shuffle, and that's when the ego gets in the way, all right? So as Leo is a fire sign, which we all know that, and it is the sun as its ruling planet, and Aquarius are part of this process right now. So Leo and Aquarius. My daughter's an Aquarius. My mom's an Aquarius. I have a sister's Aquarius. I have a sister-in-law's Aquarius, a nephew. I understand the Aquarius. I'm actually, my birthday is the 19th of January, which is the last day of Capricorn, and going into Aquarius the next day. So sometimes I see myself as one and the other. Not so much the Capricorn with some of the things that the Capricorn's known for, but more of the humanitarianism of the Aquarius. So with the two signs together, I have to tell you of a meditation that I had. It's not very long. It'll be very short, but it goes along with this card. I asked the archangels if they had any message before I did this video today for everyone. And this is the card that came up. It was Ariel. About being courageous and standing up in your beliefs. So I want to show you the card because in the very back of the card, look what's back there. The lions. How appropriate for what we're doing. So I had a meditation last week. And what I saw was in a temple in Egypt. So in this temple, what happened was I was sitting on the floor and there was a lion coming towards me. And I was looking at the lion and we were at the same frequency. So there was just complete love between the lion and myself. The lion came towards me, you know, this big head, and is just looking at me with love. And I started to pet the lion's face and jaw, and it was like panting. And then all of a sudden the lion actually, I saw the back end sit down, and then it moved forward and put its front paws down and just looked at me, and I was petting it, and I literally went over and was kissing its little cheek and talking to it. Well, not little cheek, big cheek. Was talking to it, and then I went to the side to pet it on the side, and it literally laid down sideways on its side and just like passed out. And I was petting it, and I thought that was, for some reason, I was thinking it was odd for it to pass out because it doesn't normally do that. This is like, remember, meditation, you're in this place at this time. Then I noticed in the top of the back of the lion, there was this like white piece of bone sticking out. That was not the lion's bone. And so in the meditation, I had them bring the temple's medicine person, or what some people may call a doctor, come, a wise one, come and look at it, and they removed it and saw that it had been like a sedation. So to me, why I was being shown that is because it's time for people with this eclipse and with Lionsgate together, okay? They work together, they flow in together, one needs the other. It's time for people to remove that veil. It's that sedation of that veil. It's the sedation, it's the sleepers. It's time for the sleepers to wake up. Those that are have in their plan to wake up now. This was a symbol to me that the sedation was being removed. So you may think that was an odd meditation. Actually, I did too. I was like, what? So after I sat and just went in the sun and I let it come forward, I was like, okay, sedation, that's what happens to everyone when they come on the earth. They agree to the veil and you're sedated from the truth. So I feel like what this is showing us is that the sedation's being removed, okay, for those that have chosen it. So I'm listening. They're saying this is part of the process that many don't understand. That there was an agreement before we came to actually be under this veil, to be sedated. So, okay, thank you. So, all right. So, and the other one is I had two come out at the same time, and the other one was Archangel Raziel with clairvoyance saying, I'm helping. If you hear humming from my video, please excuse it. It's my video fan or my computer fan. And it does this. It has a mind of its own. Archangel Michael, can you fix that, please? So anyways, Raziel, this is about awakening your sight to this is about awakening your spiritual sight so that you can see things clearly in heavenly love, okay? So there's Raziel, and notice the colors here on the his staff, okay? Gold at the top, and I've been seeing gold all year since the very beginning. Oops, dropped my I dropped my crystal. Okay, so anyways, this is truth, and all year I've been seeing the number 711, and 7 is spirituality, and 11 is 11 is illumination. 11 is, you know, awakening more. So I've been seeing those numbers all year: 11, 711, 711, 11, 7, constantly, and the numbers. The number 13 derived in many different ways, 67, 58, 94, 49. I've seen those all year. So 13 I did a video on. It's really very important number. It's a sacred number. It's not a bad number. Go back and check that out. But I want everyone to understand that the clairvoyance, this is awakening people to the next level. And how this is happening is through this process with this lunar eclipse and everything that's happened preceding the lunar eclipse this year. Okay, all these energies changes, these fluxes, the incoming light, the all of the different eclipses, solar eclipses, the lunar eclipses, all the openings of the gateways, everything's been assisting people with their purification. So with this working together to open people into a deeper, to having the more spiritual sight is really very important piece right now for what is coming. So Leo is the ruler of the heart. And the Leo, when you think of the Leo and the lion, it's courage and power and strength. And that's what this card with Ariel came up with this morning. So with waking the lions back up with that meditation I saw, having all of you step back into your courage, step back into your strength, take your power back, okay? Move into your knowledge, your own knowledge. You know, your strength and power is in your knowledge, which comes from here, from your own heart. And then the Aquarius, lots of family members in Aquarius. The Aquarius are the humanitarians. They're the ones that want to see things for good, change for good, and help the earth. And they're the water bearers. And although I think they are the air. Their element is the air, but they're the water bear. They want to make the world a better place. And I'm not saying that the rest of us don't, because I surely do, even though, you know, it may be a different sign, but I'm right on the cusp there. I want to make the world a better place. I want to help people. And that's what the Aquarians are. So when you put those two signs together, the Leo and the Aquarius, the Leo pushes you into that courage, taking that step into the courage and your power and your strength to stop what's going on in the world that you don't like, to become the humanitarian that works through love, that works through the heart, that wants to actually create the change. The lion in you is the creator. That's that courage to move forward and make these changes, and the Aquarius is the one that likes to be the change and see the change and make the world a better place to live. So there's just a little thing of what I saw about the two together for this time. So with that said, this lunar eclipse. Each lunar eclipse allows you, with all these retrogrades as well, these retrogrades, there's a lot of retrogrades going on that are taking you backwards. I am not an astrologer, so you know, this is stuff that comes through me And just, I do have friends that are astrologers, and once in a while I see a little blurb that it's this retrograde or this, and I always know that that just means that we're going backwards. Retrograde is going backwards, so it's slowing things down. It's giving you that time to take a look at yourself. Just like I said in my July video, it's that time, it's that deeper inner look within, and it's intense. It's to get you to move and remove things. So the darkness is going to be revealed. The darkness is being revealed in those that have not done their inner work, and even those that have done their inner work that may still have some triggers and things that are coming up in your life. This moves you. What I keep seeing, okay, so maybe that makes sense with the Aquarius, with the water bearer pouring the water on purification. But anyways, what I keep seeing in my third eye for this past week and a half is you yourself submerging yourself from the deepest depths of the ocean. And as you're coming up each level, so let's say it's like say you're 10,000 feet below. So each 1,000 feet as you're coming up, it's pulling this darkness off you, this madness off of you, all of these, the fears, the angers, everything. You're coming up through this purification process of renewal. This lunar eclipse is pushing you into the deepest depths to bring you up, okay, and rise you into your light. And this is for those that have not done this yet. There are people that have done their deep inner work already, but this is for those that haven't. But even those that have, you're going to still have little triggers and things going on in your life. This will help you as well. So what I saw is the darkness is revealed because you're at the bottom of the ocean. It was very dark down there, and it's revealed as you move up towards the sun and you come up to the surface of the ocean and you break through. And as you come through, it's like that, you take that deep breath because you can finally take your breath of life, the breath of life. And as you do, and everything is cleansed off of you, everything is just like melting away. But you have to be the one to step forth in your focus and do the inner work. And this is, I think I've been saying this all year, but it's so very powerful when you understand how it works together, why all these things are happening. So this lunar eclipse is so intense. So it's going to bring up your fears, the traumas, wounds, pain, inner child issues. If you haven't faced some of those, it's going to bring those up, okay? And it's going to assist in allowing you to see that which you still need to purge, that which you need to bring up. You need to forgive others, forgive yourself. You need to remove these things from you so that you may move forward. Forgiveness is key. I know I've seen some people say forgiveness isn't key. I've even seen some people say self-love is BS. And there's a very big spiritual teacher out there that actually said self-love is BS. And she is a woman. And I was like, oh, no way. I didn't see her say it. I actually know people that went to one of her big gatherings where there were thousands of people, and that was the first thing she opened with. And I'm sorry to say this, but in my truth, self-love is key. So I don't agree with her. We don't have to agree with her, and you don't even have to agree with me. I'm just bringing you through what came through me. So all these things that are going to come up are to move you to release this false identity, ego stuff that holds you back in your life. The ego stuff that holds you back from the this false matrix world. The ego stuff that you've grown on with, the things that have been placed on you. So these things are coming up, and when these come up, okay, what you're doing is you're actually clearing yourself to get ready, to move more into your light, so that you can absorb more light. So as the density is removed and the darkness is removed, this is so you can go into your light. This is so you can become the light being that you are, that you can become the house of light that you are. And that's really important. I remember talking about this last year in my Lionsgate video, but this is moving into Lionsgate is about the solar plexus. And this card came out today when I asked for they said activation card, and solar plexus came up. And I was like, yep, here we go. That's Lionsgate. It's all about that merging into the light. But for Lionsgate, we have an influx of light that comes in, and for what I see, it comes in and it cleanses that solar plexus. So I'm not surprised the solar plexus came up. It says the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So, solar plexus is very important. Every year, I feel like it's in the intense energy through Lionsgate when it's lined up on 8/8. When Sirius begins today, it lines up. It lines up with our sun and the Earth, and our Earth is in its central. I don't know. It's like the center point of where it's supposed to be. But all these lineups line up, and then we have that influx of light to assist with that solar plexus to move us into our house of light, our inner sun temple. I call it the inner sun temple because our inner sun temple is located in the solar plexus. Okay, so if you haven't seen, I posted a crystal grid that came through me this week for helping with the solar plexus. It's on my Instagram, it's on my Facebook. Okay, you can go on there. It's on my Keleena Milner Sacred Heart Ascension Facebook page. And it's on my Instagram, Keleena Loves. You can see it on there. You just post it on there. People are saving it and putting it on their phones, putting it on their computer screens because they're saying it's so powerful, so fantastic. Please, utilize it. That's why I brought it through. So anyways, so the inner sun temple, the solar plexus, I actually wrote my notes because I can see it and then I take a little, so I don't forget because I tend to have everything go right through me. So the inner sun, the sun illuminates. When the sun illuminates and brings that light in, it illuminates with the source light. Okay, so what better way to have your clearing and assisting in your purification process than source? Okay, so this is a time of cleansing. This is a time of purification. And oh, that reminds me, this morning when I went out, because I sun gaze every morning. I sun gaze a few times a day. But when I went out, I asked her, was there anything else that I needed to know before I did this video? And what I heard straight from, I connect with the sun and I speak with Source. And Source said to me, it's as simple as this. It is purification and cleansing. Those two things. To move into your highest light. That's what this whole thing is doing. It's generating this for us. So don't look at this as something that's negative. Don't look at purging as negative. Don't look at having to release things as a negative thing. Look at it as a gift from Source. That this alignment is the way it is because it's pushing on us to find out who we truly are. It's pushing us into us to know thyself, to cleanse ourselves, to remove all the density from all these lifetimes that we've been here, to cleanse the soul and move into our highest purification. And that inner sun temple in the solar plexus is a key point on your body, on the chakra system, which is between the belly button and I would say the mid rib cage is where I always have when mine's like opens like really big. Anyways, I go in the sun every morning and I feel the sun lights me up. It like nourishes me and gives me nutrients. And I don't really eat much anymore because I use the sun. The sun feeds me. It's like it feeds my soul. It feeds my body. So because when you move into the light body, light actually fills you up. So you start moving away from food and you start moving into just needing light and water. And there's so much here that I can say, but I want you to understand why the whole process happens. I'm just not going to come up here and talk about the astrology points of this. I want you to understand why this happens and how it's affecting you. And the light language is going to be coming through here in a little bit too. So anyways, it moves you from your darkness and into your light with this process. And so that full moon assists with that. They're actually calling it a magic moon. I know they call it the blood red moon because of it's just the way everything's lit up in the sky and the way the reflection is and stuff, but they're calling it the magic moon. It's a magic moon. That's what my guides are calling it, a magic moon. So I want to talk, I just want to mention the thymus as well, because I've been working on a lot on the clients and with light language and healing. And last week, in July, I did talk about the Larimar crystal and how it's very good for the thymus because that's a turquoise. And way back in January, February, I kept saying turquoise. I mentioned it in my videos. I'm like, I'm seeing turquoise this year. I'm seeing turquoise. So here we are in July, and here we are with this lunar eclipse and Lionsgate, and this is the time right now where this is all happening. So this is a very good protective crystal for the thymus chakra. Its connection to the dolphin frequencies. It's also the crystal of the goddess. So let's see why I wear it. I also have a ring that is, you can see it there. That is Larimar as well. So let's get it closer up for you so you can see what it looks like, the colors. But that is Larimar as well. So, and of course mine's heart, because you know me, I'm all about the love. So, okay, so the thymus connected to the throat. I put down my notes that I just want to discuss this really quick with you so you understand some things. I've been working on everyone this week, that the opening of that thymus, connecting it to the throat chakra. Okay, of course it's behind the high heart. It's above, like, I want to say it's in between the throat, because it's right about, let me see where they always put my finger when they're doing stuff in, right here. There's like a little bump. Wee. Oh, and when my healing comes through myself onto myself, so it was like a wheel. Wee. Wow. Sorry, I just went really high when I touched my own thymus. So anyways, that connects to the throat chakra. And then I've been working on the ears. You do have ear chakras. And then the third eye. So they connect like a diamond. And what did we have earlier this year? We had, at the spring equinox, we had the diamond light codes coming in. So I don't know. I might have to talk to my friend Paul about this. It may be something to do, maybe it's some part of the connection of that, but Drew just said it's not relevant at this time. Oh, thank you. I love my guides. Thank you. Yeah, so this is about opening the heart. This is about the purification of the soul, purification of the body, removing the densities to move into your light. And to move into your sacred heart, your high heart. That's what this whole process is, through these cycles of these eclipses and the purification, all that, and going into Lionsgate, which in Lionsgate, last year Lionsgate was huge, opening up and removing all that negative, dense, dark energy that was coming off everybody all year, and off Earth, that everything that was coming out and being released. That's what I see when that portal opens. I see this stuff just going like a vacuum getting sucked up there. Also, I feel like this Lionsgate this year has some more to do with the new Earth as well. So maybe the removal, all of this stuff that we've been as a consciousness been removing, so that we can create this new Earth. I feel like there's a direction here. I feel like this Lionsgate's pulling us in this direction of the new Earth energy. They're showing me like walking over the Rainbow Bridge. Is what they're showing me. They're showing me this walking over this Rainbow Bridge, and they're showing with lions, walking with courage, walking with so like stepping into your true self, knowing thyself, stepping into your power, into your courage, and taking that walk to connect to your inner awareness and move forward in that process. And through all of this that's happening, through this process, we're moving into who we are, so that we can actually facilitate our movement into our higher self, into that connection of our higher self, the connection of our higher being, into light. Ooh. That just kind of like whoop, came through. Okay, so those are my notes. I don't have a lot this year because I have a lot. So many times in meditation was just the same stuff over and over, so I didn't really take a lot of notes. I want to make. I also want people to be aware that the mother energy. I've been working with the Sophia energy, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Isis a lot this year. I was in the mountains. Todd took a great picture of me when I was actually in meditation and doing light language on top of a mountain that actually, we didn't know the name of it, but I was told that I needed to go there on the day of the summer solstice and work with the Sophia energies that day, bringing through information, knowledge, all that, bringing through codes, light codes, and grounding it into earth. And I was going to be doing this with Sophia, Mother Sophia, bringing those energies through. And when I did that, I was in the mountains. After we were done, Todd took this great picture of me from behind where you can see the beautiful mountain in front of me. But most of the time my eyes closed. So in this photo, I was like, what is that mountain? When we were walking back, there were signs that said Mount Saint Sophia. We had no idea the name of the mountain was Sophia. This place was 2 hours away from where I was staying with him. And we ended up there, and he knew where to take me. So he followed his own inner guidance, and I went up the mountain. So watch the synchronicities, listen to your own inner knowing. You know what to do, okay? You know what to do in many situations and stuff. So I just wanted to say that because with this process, it moves you more into your deeper depths of knowing yourself, knowing thyself, okay? So I see I have a few cards here that I pulled too. I have the yoga card that came up, which yoga in Sanskrit is union, but also yoga is very important because when you move the body and stretch the body, you allow the flow of your chi, your prana, your energy, however you want to say it. You need to make sure that you do stuff like that, but also the union of the mother. Those two cards came out together. So I have Lady Nada and Babaji. I have the union, and I have the mother energy flowing together. The union of the mother is very prevalent this year. It has to be. It's predominant because we're bringing together within male and female. We are bringing together that divine union within of the two energies, of the masculine and the feminine. It has to happen. We need to be in balance. To be in, it's unification, they just said, unification within. That's the union. That is a union that you're going through through this process. You're removing all those densities, you're moving into the light, and what it's doing is it's creating this union within. And also so that you can step into your magic and find your magic. That's another thing with the thymus that's really important. When that thymus is open and activated and working, the thymus opens you to your abilities, your gifts, okay, your potentials, okay. It's all there. So when you're ready and you're going through purification, and the sacred high heart, high heart is open and activated and working properly, that's when the magic happens, okay? Now, the activation card that I have for you today is the Merkabah, and this is really important. I'm really thirsty. Hang on, because when I channel and stuff, I get really thirsty. I get dehydrated. Okay. So I have the Merkabah card. I'm going to show it to all of you because it's activating. This is a great card. It's from the activation, Sacred Geometry Activations card deck. And they're very powerful, so I love them. So this one says, the frequency of Merkabah supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance, as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. Okay? So when you're moving into that thymus and your gifts are coming forward for what you're here to do, that's also moving into your highest purpose, is it not? Okay, here it is. This is the Merkabah activation card. So I want to see if I can get this on here without the glare for you. I want you guys to stare at it. And I hope you can see it without... Look all around at it. Stare at it. And then look right in the center. And when you do, and you start feeling it activate you might feel tingling in the body, energy running through you. I want you just to start your breathing. Deep breath in through the nose, expanding the lungs as big as you can, and out through the mouth. I'm going to actually read what this says because it's very important for right now. So it says the word Merkabah can be loosely translated as chariot. It refers to the human light body, the energy field around all humans that is generated by the quantum parts of our DNA. Therefore, this field is quantum as well. It is in this field that we communicate with our consciousness and where our Akashic records are stored. The human Akasha can be described as the total history of everything that a human being has experienced on planet Earth, held as energy in the etheric field around the human being. This energy field has the geometric shape of a star tetrahedron, which consists of two equally sized interlocking fields of tetrahedra. They're pyramids, with a common center. Through the counterspinning of these fields, while breathing in certain patterns, it is believed that we can change or move our perception of reality into other dimensions. It is why the Merkabah is believed to be the vehicle that allows us to travel through different times and dimensions. I'm just going to put it up here while I'm reading. Michael, please fix my computer fan. The upper tetrahedron of this activation refers to the masculine aspect, its fiery colors indicating power, presence, and direction. The light coming out of its corners refer to the capacity to direct energy and presence. The downward tetrahedron refers to the feminine aspect, deep, dark, and mysterious, with spirals indicating the flow and nature of the feminine. When these two opposing forces come together in perfect union, the Merkabah activates its full potential. This process is outwardly expressed, though our search, and I think it should say through our search and manifestation of a love relationship with another, and inwardly through the equally powerful love relationship with ourselves. And I said that in the beginning, that self-love is very important. Both hold the potential of supporting our eternal and infinite capacity to create our reality according to our consciousness. The arrowhead pattern refers to our ancient past as well as our alien and off-planet connection to other realities. The water in the background indicates the emotional realm, the guidance system that helps us navigate through the world of energies in relation to our physical bodies. The green and turquoise indicate our heart-based truth, and the surrounding square represents the physical world in which our reality is based. So the green and turquoise indicate our heart-based truth. The heart chakra is green, the thymus is turquoise. This pulls in all together all the stuff that's going on right now with the lunar eclipse and the Lion's Gate, I feel. So the union, for me, I really feel like there's this huge love piece, people opening deeper into love, more people opening to the love that we're here to express and our greatest version of ourselves, and being the greatest version of ourselves. So with that done and moving that stuff over, also I have Abundancia, the goddess Abundancia with prosperity came forward. Also Kuan Yin came forward. This is all about compassion, loving, love of thyself, love of others with no judgment, okay? No judgment on others. So important. I've talked about this many times this year. When you can move into no judgment, that's when you move into living from the heart, okay? And when you can speak your truth, and speak your truth in grace, love, and wisdom, and your divinity, is when you're living from your high heart, your sacred heart. If you're not ready for that, that thymus is not open. Your heart chakra may be open, but the thymus isn't, okay? So this is a step-by-step process, all right? And all this stuff is relevant. Everything that happens as we move through this process, everything that happens through every eclipse, this lunar eclipse, this is really big. This is going to be intense. I've been saying this all month. This is going to be intense. For those of you that are through this stuff, majority of it, it may not be as intense for you. You may be moving into the, where you planted your seeds and you've been watering your crops and you're creating and growing your abundance, and that may be where you are right now. So, which is fantastic. So, I'm being told light language, so I'm going to do that, and then I just have one more thing to say, and then I'm done. So here we go, everybody. I'm going to move my yoga ball back. Okay. I'm actually really hot right now, so so, light language, if you do not understand it, it is okay. It is the universal language of love. We all have the ability to speak it, okay? What I do with the light language are activation codes. I access many, many, many activation codes. So you may receive what you're ready for. If you're not ready, you're not going to receive it, okay? But my higher self says that I know and I am aware who is watching this, that the right ones will come through. Everybody will be activated in some way. These are for all watching. These are not specific to just your soul. If you want specific ones, then you need to book a session and I will work just with you. And if you want to do that, read my testimonials first and you'll see exactly what I do. Here we go. Mokoretta tekiranto tushikirana miano ursa karenta tieniana ara korsoto toshkoraniana aya korsoto tutut nikrete kikiata konta ya sashushia miano ora santa yana korsoto tutut ya hana umba yana kirasoto ni misigara soto tutu ina kinta moroto tutut ni kasanta kirenta tutut Ukurasata krasata tututu inshikudo tuturi mi kayanda uri kasata yeno kurasata sisiana ura sisiana usisiana ususiana urututua mukuri kete segera tututu ya himo una ura krasata ushatora mi yana kuayana ura satata yeno kusata yana ana kuayana ha ura kasa sisiana una mi yana ura satata ikoroto tututu imetisiana ushadiana ana kurutu yahana una moya hi No miana orata. Mohokarasa tatata ni sutermatini ruokata yana usatua. Mukuranta sakirato suto yama orata. Yahaniana orata. Ushunta yana iniana oriente. Mikio ayasoa. Ishia orato. Murente miana. There's healing energy coming through, so please, if you want the healing energy, you just have to accept it. Nambutemi. Momesa shonementa urosasi ashuma. Sikiana usente. Shimiana urate mesutenne. Ushaya ukaya sashaya. Teni ire suntamanna anaswaya. Usente kira suntama. Ushantaya urente niina urapana. Ushundia moyama. Yahiano unete. Yusekianta irauta monos. Sekiranta sunanturu shutupanna kiresente Yeshua. Namaste. eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. All right. Thank you. So just to recap, everything you're going through, everything that everyone's been going through this year, everything that's happening with the lunar eclipse, bringing these things forward, bringing everything up, the purging, the releasing of the dense energies, the releasing of the darkness, having to dive deep to come up and rebirth yourself, to cleanse yourself and be ready for this Lion's Gate, new activation of light that's coming in to connect with the solar plexus. Your inner sun temple, you need to be clean. This is what I feel. I feel like you clean yourself so that you connect and you can allow that light to come in. You can absorb that light and it continues to move the density out. This is what happens every year, okay? All of these are in alignment. Everything is planned. Every single thing in your life is planned. Everything in the universe is planned. Everything is moving us forward for this process. For Earth's ascension and for humanity's ascension. It's really very important. Everything is in divine, perfect order. Okay? I want to leave everyone with this. This is a quote from Wayne Dyer that I saw and what I heard him say. He said, every day you can be a host for God. Remember, you are God. You're a God, Goddess. Your spirit within, that's God, Goddess. Every day you can be a host for God in this physical body. You can be a host for God or a hostage to your ego. Think about that here. Every day you can be a host for God or a hostage in your ego. What does that mean? You can be a host for God. Your physical body is your temple. Your physical body is your vessel. Your physical body is what hosts God within you. Through this process, through the eclipses, back to the light, back to standing in that courage, okay? You move back into your light. You find out who you are through this purification, okay? Do you want to host your body? Do you want to host it for God? Or do you want to stay in that false identity ego, part of that matrix world, that patriarchal controlled matrix? Do you want to live in your fears? Do you want to live in the ego fears, the traumas, the pains, keeping yourself there? Do you want to limit yourself? That's limiting yourself. Or do you want to leave that and focus on your ascension and be the host for the God, Goddess that you are? That's what he was saying. That's what this entire process is about. So I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to go. I thank you for all the donations that are coming in. I want to say I've written an article just recently about those who have taken the blue pill and those who have taken the red pill. If you haven't read it, it's on my website, www.keleenamalnar.com. It has gotten a lot of feedback, a lot of shares. It's really, when people are reading it, people are saying it's activating them to understand things. So get on there and read it. It's the latest article I wrote. It will come up the first article. And I wish you all a wonderful lunar eclipse and Lion's Gate, because this is all a beautiful process. Okay, and remember where you focus your energy, you know. We allow the flow. And if you allow the flow to be in love and to be in light, you're creating who you are. You're restoring yourself back to who you are. You're connecting with your true self. Namiyoto shuntamiana arakiata yonotoa. I love you. Where your focus goes, your energy flows.